Welcome to Hate to Wait, where two lifelong dieters talk about the current struggles with weight loss. Diets, we've tried them all. We are not doctors. We don't play them on TV or on this podcast. Join our journey because misery loves company.
Hello, Emily.
Hello, John. How are you this week? Happy New Year, actually.
Yes, it is. Like for us, as we record, this is the second day. It's the third, right? Today's the third. Yes, the third.
Yeah.
As we record. So had a really great New Year, great week. It's officially over. The holiday season's officially over. Yay.
Yeah, you are so happy about this.
I am. I put away my Christmas decoration yesterday. Now it's officially over. There's no more holiday stuff.
Well, there's Super Bowl Sunday.
Well, that's a holiday, but it's not a holiday season.
It's a food holiday, though.
That's true.
That's in my mind what holidays are now. They're all food. It's just food time. It's time to test my diet.
Well, I've had a guest this week.
Mm-hmm. Your special lady friend.
My special lady friend is here this week, and I thought there's going to be a problem staying within the window and everything, but no. Apparently, when you're on Sperling time, breakfast is at 2. So it was in the eating window, and then we did dinner, and we cooked dinner, which was nice.
Oh, how nice!
Yeah, so we did all that kind of stuff, and she is on me about my medication, so the whooshy pill has been in effect all week long.
Yay! Thank you, Sam.
I don't know if that is a yay for me. It is. No, it is. I do feel a ton better. It was rough getting through the first couple days, not going to lie. So, but now things are starting to come into play. My legs feel a little bit better. I'm moving more now because someone's here to move around with. I never realized how much of a hermit I am or how much of a set routine I was in.
Yeah.
Until Sam got here.
Yeah.
So.
Because now she wants to do stuff and you want to show her stuff and you're excited to do all that fun couple things.
Yes. Found out some amazing things. Like she watches TV like I do. Like she's into the TV. Like when she'll say something like, oh, he did it. I'm like, what? And then I'm like, and he did it. And I was like, how did you? I was amazed. Usually I'm the one that he did it. But he did it to me. So it's really been great. It's going to be hard to let her go on Sunday. I really do want to confiscate her passport. How much time do you get for kidnapping? I don't know. Is it really kidnapping? But now I have to let her go back. And
Stop telling me. I don't want to be an accomplice. No. Don't bring me into this.
Yeah. Now, as far as the eating, I have not been doing keto at all. But I have been in the eating window all
You've
week.
been doing the intermittent fasting, which we both do, which I can relate to. Mm-hmm. I can't always relate to keto. And it's funny, when I meet people who do keto, I don't want to be rude, but I just want to be like, how though? Because I did it for 6 months, kind of. Well, I did the no carb thing for 6 months. And it was just every single day felt like torture. And it worked.
Right. No, see, the problem is it works. That's why we do it. And the thing for me is that I need something to jumpstart me. Like, I feel like if I could drop 100, and of course, being a new year, we all set our goals. Like, that's what we do as entrepreneurs. We set goals for the new year. So I'm setting a lofty goal for 100 pounds by New Year's Eve next year. 100 pounds. Just me. And that means it's 25 pounds a quarter. Or take 25 and divide that by 3. We're never supposed to do math on podcasts. You at home, you do the math.
Yeah. It's about, wow. See, and I tried to do the math too. And I was like, nope.
I'm thinking 12. No, it's not even. It's not even 12. It's like 8. 8 pounds.
Yeah, it's like 8 pounds.
A month.
Yeah.
8 pounds a month, which is very doable.
Yeah, which is like 2 pounds a week.
Right. Now, if I say 100 pounds, I'm going to lose 100 pounds in a year, you're like, what? That's crazy. But then I say, okay, 25 pounds a quarter, and you're like, that's still a lot. Then I go 8 pounds a month or 1.5 pounds a week.
Yeah.
2 pounds a week.
Yeah.
Very doable.
Yeah.
Very, very doable.
It is, and especially, let's be frank, especially for you because you're larger. It's not like somebody who's 100 pounds and they want to lose 100 pounds. There's no way. They're not doing that.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I've been thinking about. Also, okay. Well, first of all, I'm jumping ahead. I already started jumping ahead. So why don't you rein me in? I'm shot out of a cannon today. Sorry.
No, I want to get to the meat of our episode too, because in this episode, we were talking about what helped us in 2018, kind of a way to reflect and look back. And we know that people are joining us for the first time and they're listening to this episode because it's the first one of the year. And they're like, all right, I'm going to get some podcast in my podcast player to help motivate me to finally lose this weight. And we come on and we're talking about, well, we kind of had a struggle week. And they're like, no. I need like quick wins. I want that. I want to know how these people lost. Last week, we were at 52 pounds. We lost 52 pounds since we started recording 35 weeks earlier. So back in April, we started this and we went on our journey and we lost 52 pounds together. And when I broke it down, you and I pretty much lost about half and half about. So
yeah, and that's amazing because you did better than I did. Let's just face it, you did better. I'm not.
No,
it's not a race.
We did the same. We did about 1 pound or 2 pounds a week.
I know that, but usually men do better. Although I'm realizing that older men don't do as well as young men. So things are slowing down. So yeah, but again, I think that we did a great job. Now, okay, so do you want to do your week first, or should we just dive right in?
My week was pretty boring. There wasn't anything special this week. I stayed in my window. It's gotten to the point where it's very habit for me to just eat within that window and keep going with it. So yeah, my week was pretty boring.
yada through your week?
Yeah, let's just get into it because I'm so excited about these. So John, what's your first one?
This community.
Yeah.
This community to me has been an amazing source of support. And to be honest with you, just knowing that I had to come on here, accountability, even though there's no judgment. I've never seen anything. Once we had one where you're like, hey, you are not staying at the same weight.
We needed that though. But that's one of the things about accountability is when you join something like a mastermind or when you talk to a really good friend, the reason you know that they're really good friends is that they will kick your butt when your butt needs to be kicked. They're not going to coddle you.
Exactly.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Adam says, John had bigger swings. Emily was more consistent. I was the hare. You were the tortoise. The tortoise always wins. Yeah. See, so that's okay. I like that.
But we both finished the race.
Yes, we did. So what was yours?
My number one was accountability. So I'll go to my next one. Getting an eating coach in the beginning of the year. And I'm not saying everybody needs to get an eating coach, but one of the things that she did, my eating coach was Harriet Morris. She does the podcast, The Eating Coach. And working with her, she worked through with me the issues with food and not just like, here's the diet you need to follow. Here's your grocery list. She got down to like, why are you going to food? Like the why, not just I'm hungry, because as I've learned, making sure to get enough water, a lot of the times it's thirst, but why am I going to food? She dug down into my parents, my relationship with my parents' relationship with food. She made me see food for what I was using it for. And I was using it as a substitute for comfort. I was using it as a substitute for love or for something to do when I'm bored. Or something I did when I was impulsive, like, oh my gosh, I just remembered I had these cookies. I can't think of anything else until I get those cookies. And she helped me see that. And it really changed my relationship with food. And I did not realize it at the time, how much it was helping. It was one of those things I looked back on and realized just how much those 6 weeks of coaching that I did with her did for me.
That sounds amazing. It sounds something like maybe I should do this year. Because I need that.
I think it's good. And at the same time, I'm just like, I get what she's saying. I almost felt like I knew it all along. But the fact that I had somebody facing me, looking me in the eyes and telling me in the most gentle way, why don't you try this? Just try this. It's okay. Just this tiny baby step. And I mean, we did things like she gave me some exercises to do to help my binge eating, to sort of help me slow down. And even though they seemed like kind of fun games at the time. They really did help. And I notice I'm still using a lot of those techniques now, even though I don't notice it as much. I'm not consciously doing it, but I realize, I'll take a bite, I'll take a few breaths, I'll put it down. Like you were talking about, I think last week or the week before, the fork burpees, and just doing those sort of things. And having somebody, again, there was accountability because I had talked to her every single week and I had to tell her how I was doing. Oh, and another thing with her was she never asked me to weigh myself or talk about my weight. She just worked on my relationship with food. So that was a big thing.
That honestly is what I've wanted to find forever. Like I tried therapy and that didn't take for me. But everything you were talking about, I'm like, yeah, all that. All that, my family's relationship with food, my relationship with food. I need that. I need all of that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'll talk to her and see if she'll come on the show one day just to kind of see what she does if we want.
I would love that.
Yeah, I'll talk to Harriet. I'd love to get her on.
Does she have a pod? She has a podcast.
Yeah, she does the Eating Coach.
Oh.
She does the Eating Coach and she also does the podcast Harry Potter Saved My Life, where she actually breaks down the books Harry Potter and how they resonated with her regarding her depression and her mental health. And it was actually funny because the author of Harry Potter, this is such a tangent, the author of Harry Potter dealt with depression and she actually wrote depression into her books. So in the third book, if you guys know the Dementors, she actually said, I wrote those as a character of my depression. So.
How about that? I never knew that.
Yeah.
You know what makes you less depressed? Writing a series of books that makes you a billionaire.
Yeah. I'm sure, though, she still deals with it, though. It's not like, okay, I'm quote unquote successful. My demons are gone. It's like, no, sometimes it makes it worse.
All right. So now we're going way off in the weeds because I watched an episode where Oprah interviewed J.K. Rowling. Is it J.K. Rowling?
J.K. Rowling.
Rowling. Okay. So they're interviewing and they're like, so what I did was I finally did where I didn't have to do anything, like where I had everybody do things for me. And it made me so, did it make you feel much better? Oh, it made me feel so much better. I'm like, 2 billionaires sitting there talking about how their life is better now. Who needs that? But anyhow, yes, I understand what you're saying. Okay, so back on track. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Off the tangent.
So let's go to your next one.
My next one is shame. Shame is a big motivator for me. Because I have to come on here every week and I have to be accountable. Now, why does accountability work? Well, shame. If you don't have shame, accountability does not work. So for me, the shame, like the day when I had to come on here and say, I gained 10 pounds. I gained 10 pounds. And I remember talking to Sam and I'm like, I think I'm calling out sick today. And she's like, no, you're just going to have to suck it up, Buttercup. Get in there and tell them this is what you said you're going to do.
Well, maybe not shame so much as it is taking responsibility, to put more of a positive spin on that.
Okay, so can we say that shame and accountability are like dating? Like they're hand in hand? Like you have both of them kind of work in tangent with each other?
Yeah, on Facebook, I think their relationship status would still be it's complicated.
It is complicated, yes.
But yes.
Right. So that was my next one. How about your next one?
My next one, really being conscious of my water intake. I've had this since I was pregnant with my daughter, where if I don't get enough water the day before, I feel hungover the next day. And just so everyone knows, like I'm not drinking wine and wondering why I have a hangover. Like I really don't drink that much anymore. But it's when I don't get enough water. The day before New Year's Day, I only had 2 of my usual bottles. I usually have 3. I try to make it to 3. And I was like, well, I also had some vegetables. That was probably water. And I went to bed. Next day, I had a headache the whole day. I was like, really? Oh. But the other thing is, and I mentioned it earlier, is that a lot of the times when I'm hungry, quote unquote, I'm actually just thirsty and I need water. But water is so boring that I'm like, but a piece of cheesecake would taste so much better than water. So I just have to really focus and keep drinking water and make sure that I'm drinking enough throughout the day. And also so that I'm not at the end of the night being like, I have 1 more bottle to drink. I might as well drink the whole thing in this 10 minutes before bed, because then I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh my God, it hurts. I gotta go.
No, I get it. And I just was jotting down this $1 million idea, cheesecake flavored water. Who wouldn't drink a bottle of that?
Ew, actually, so ew.
Ew?
Ew.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I'm the audience.
Maybe it isn't $1 million idea. Sounded good at the time. My next one is myself, battling myself, because out of all of this, I am my worst enemy. The battles that I have with myself daily, on a daily basis, because the fat John is a child. The fat John just wants what he wants when he wants it, and he doesn't want to hear crap. Fat John doesn't want to hear anything from anybody else. And Thin John had to emerge and take on Fat John and say, you know what? No, we're not doing this. No, we're not going to Taco Bell. I know you want to go to Taco Bell. We're not going. All right, that's it. I'm taking the keys away from you. That's it. No, sit down. We are not going to Taco Bell. And it would get like that. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but it would get like that. It would be an argument with myself. And then, because he was angry, he was throwing a temper tantrum. Like a child, he would come back and go, but can't we just go and get like this, it's not as bad as that? You know, and then because I love myself, kind of, sort of, then I would say, well, and then I would think to myself, what am I doing? No, we're not going. So it was like that whole constant battle fighting myself. That was one of the things that really I had to, and I'm still doing it, but it's getting easier. Like, in other words, my overweight self is now conforming, where before it wouldn't. I ordered a $70 cheesecake online while I was doing a show about losing weight.
Well, you weren't, okay. In your defense, just a little bit, it wasn't this show that you ordered the $70 cheesecake on.
No, but I was doing this show. I was on another show. Yeah. And they were talking about it. And I was just started this show. And I was completely off carbs. And I ordered a $70 cheesecake while I was recording that show.
What? Here's the thing. You only ate 2 slices of it and you gave the rest away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was John fighting with John. That was like John said, okay, you had 2 slices. You're only supposed to have 1. I gave you a second slice. Now get the rest of it out. I'll throw it out. I'll throw it on the ground. Don't you think I won't?
I will turn this fridge right around.
That's right. I have to parent myself. The hardest thing for me is that I'm a big baby when it comes to food and what I want. And I actually had to, and it really started happening, I guess since October, I started losing that control around Christmas time. I really started losing that control because I hate that time of year. I hate the cold. I hate the getting dark earlier. And I was starting to lose control. Now I feel like I'm back in control.
Yeah. You, like, I'm looking at our weights though. You didn't lose that much control over the holidays at all. I'm looking at like -3, -1, +2, -2, -1, +1. Like that's so negligible. It's so tiny.
There was a big one in there. I remember it was like a +10 and then maybe a +6, I think, somewhere in there. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's on the page before, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
Don't worry about those.
That's behind us now.
That is behind us because that's like 6 or 7 weeks behind us. That's a long time.
Yeah, it is. No, and again, going along with that is that once I would say I would do something or how can I put? I hate saying my fat self only because I don't mind saying it, but I feel other people would.
You could say old John.
All right, old John. Thank you. Old John would say something and then he would get away with it. And then when New John would get control again, I didn't punish old John like I used to. I didn't try to make old John feel as bad. So that was a big thing too.
Yeah, that is good. So my next one, as you said, community support. But when I wrote this down, I was thinking of, I don't know how it was back in April. I think maybe you started posting your Instant Pot. And I reached out to you. It was one of those things where I was kind of asking for help, as in, I want to get myself back on track with this. I found out you were doing intermittent fasting and keto, and it was like being able to reach out for help and having a community and having somebody there and knowing that it was like, hey, I really need help. And I know you are always up for starting a podcast. I feel like this is the only way that I'm going to get the help that I really want on a weekly basis. It's just being able to reach out for help is a big thing for me. And I tell my husband every time, I'm like, listen, if I actually sit you down and say, I need help, I needed help probably 3 weeks ago. And now I'm asking you. So being able to get that right away and get the support of you and then get the support of the group, again, going back to the group, it's phenomenal. That helped me so much in 2018.
Yeah, it's been a ride. And the funny thing about it is that you and I don't really interact. We interact once during the show, and then we interact on Sunday when I say, show's ready.
Yeah.
and then I see you in the group, but like we're not back and forth. I mean, it is just something where we just come in, and this show flows so I don't even have notes. All right, so we're going to pull back the curtain. You said to me, hey, John, make a list. I forgot. We're here.
Well, you came up with two while I was texting you.
Right, yeah. So, and I had to go pull up. I'm like, what did I say? So, yeah. But again, it's this, this show is so easy to do. It comes from the heart. There's no prep for it. And I love doing it. And like I said, it's great. We have a Facebook Live group going. People are in there talking and chatting. It swells my heart. It does. It really makes me feel proud.
Yeah, and especially seeing others helping others when we're not necessarily on Facebook or in the group to look at. So we have Elaine posting the weigh-in on Thursday mornings. So thank you to Elaine who does that for everybody who likes to weigh in. I saw, I think, 7 comments this morning. I was like, wow, you guys are better than me. I haven't even gotten on the scale yet.
Yeah, well, yes, right. Well, again, the scale, that is, I don't know. Sometimes I think that we need to change our thoughts about the scale because it's just one measurement. It's not all the measurements.
It is. And I think that's why it's just a small part of the show that we talk about. We don't get on and say, all right, let's start the show. I'm down 2 pounds. Here's how I did it. It's sort of like therapy for me. I come on and I start talking about my week and I realize as we're recording, I mean, if you're watching, you could probably see a light bulb go above my head of just like, oh, that's why I had trouble this week. Or, oh, giving up fast food. Who knew that would actually lead to weight loss? Just, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't give up fast food this week. I have someone here who's never in Canada. They don't have Chick-fil-A. So how can you not take, that would be almost rude not to take somebody to Chick-fil-A. But what I did was I got the grilled chicken sandwich instead of the breaded chicken sandwich. And I did
you ate in your window.
I did eat in my window. Yes, I did. So I mean, there this week was crazy. I mean, there was pizza and cheesesteaks and all the things that you do.
Things you do when you go to Philly.
Right. So then, it would be rude of me not to.
They would take away your Philly card.
They would. They'd say, what's going on with you? With you? How do you spell with you? So,
do you have something else? Do you have another?
Honestly, they're the big 3. The community and also, and this is really weird that it's happened today. Do you know that 3 years ago today, a John Buchanan and an Emily Prokop became Facebook friends?
Really?
So happy Facebook friendiversary.
Happy Facebook friendiversary.
Yes. 3 years ago today. Isn't it weird? It seems like we've known each other much longer.
Yeah. Well, it also seems very short. I still can't get over that I've been podcasting for more than 3 years. That's just always going to be weird to me.
Right. Well, what's it?
Yeah.
6 years for me? Yeah. 6 years for me.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. So that to me, having you in here. Oh, second thing I wanted to say was I saw the picture that you put in the group from last year to this year. That is an amazing transformation.
I must have body dysmorphia because I don't see barely anything.
I was talking to Sam. Sam saw the picture. He goes, wow, look at the change in Emily. It is an amazing transformation. So yes, you do have body of whatever you just said.
Yeah, body dysmorphia, where I just...
You can't say it.
Because I'm looking at it and I'm like, but all those rolls that I can see in the picture from last year, they're just being hidden by this giant panda shirt I'm wearing. And my mother-in-law even said, she's like, you're crazy. You don't see this? I'm like, I don't see this difference. Unfortunately, what I do see a difference in, and this actually helped me this year, was I stopped wearing yoga pants every single day, and I started wearing jeans and sweaters and things that are fitted, because that is a much better progress scale for me than the actual scale. Is if I can take a pair of jeans out of the dryer and put them on without sucking it in or feeling like, well, I'll just wear this for a day and then tomorrow they'll fit great. It's like, no, I can actually do this now. And that's kind of my goal. And I like getting dressed now instead of just saying, well, yoga pants it is, because yoga pants, they love me because they don't care if I'm fat, if I've lost weight, whatever. They fit, they go on. I don't have to pull them up all the time. No, I kind of need that constant reminder of jeans and wearing a belt and having to wear a belt that, yeah, this is working. This is actually working. Just keep going.
I'm going to have to do that this year because I'm still the sweatpants kind of guy. I definitely have to lose about another 25 pounds, and then I have jeans that will fit. I wasn't buying another pair that didn't fit. I wasn't buying a pair that would fit me now. I just wasn't going to do it.
That's how I was. And I had jeggings, which kind of transitioned me. I was like, all right, at least wear jeans. If you wear jeans, then you'll want to wear a nice shirt. If you wear a nice shirt, then you might want to wear jewelry. If you wear jewelry, you might want to put on makeup. Hey, you might want to do your hair today. And then my husband's just like, where are you going? And I'm like, I don't know. I need to get dressed now.
That's fantastic. It's actually a testament on how you're feeling about yourself.
Yeah.
You are actually feeling better about yourself. So you're taking care of yourself and you're doing things to make yourself feel better. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, I have kind of done the same thing.
You also have a special lady friend that you have to look nice for.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
I think that should be one of your things on your list, your special lady friend.
Yeah, but it hadn't really have anything to do with, it had something to do with podcasting, but it really didn't have anything to do with this. Although she does keep me, she is a motivating factor. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Because so I'm going to tell a story. She was here. She wanted to go shopping. I'm still having a lot of problems with my knees. I can't walk a lot. So I said, I can't really go. She goes, who needs you? I like shopping by myself. So I was like, really? She goes, I said, so I could just take you there to like an outlet where you could go do your shopping. And I could rock back, listen to podcasts, which I haven't been able to do because we've been doing things together. I could catch up on podcasts. She goes, yeah. I'm like, that's fantastic.
That's the dream.
Right. So she went, she shopped. I sat back, listened to like 3 or 4 podcasts, and she's like, you sure? I'm like, hey, I had to sit back, listen to podcasts. It was great. I had a fantastic time. We came home, we cooked dinner. It was amazing. So having that person in my life that supports me and everything, that is amazing. You're right. That is another thing.
Yeah, and you also want to stay healthy so that you can be around her for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was told I have to be healthy because I'm not allowed to go anywhere. Apparently, I'm not allowed to die now, people. There's that.
Sorry, John, if we ruined your plans for 2019.
Well, kind of want to stick around too.
Yeah.
All right. Any other ones for you?
I have keeping track of progress was a big thing.
That's true,
Being able to do the weekly weigh-in. Having these numbers written down. So I have all of our weigh-in numbers on Post-it notes, and there's like piles of them at this point, starting back from when we first started. And let's see, having that, being able to look at the scale, I read so many things that are like, you should only get on the scale once a week, or you should only weigh yourself once a month, even some of them say. But that doesn't work for me. I need that. So again, going back to accountability, I need that, and I need to keep track of progress. And I'm not on the scale daily, although when I'm doing well, I kind of like, hey, let's see just how well I'm doing, because I think I'm doing pretty well. And I like when the scale agrees with me.
Yeah, I went back to once a week because I did not get on the scale until this morning. And getting on the scale every day seems to feed a part of me. I'm going to say it's a cheater. Like I cheat. Like in other words, I'm not sticking to the plan. I'll do something that'll make the scale move or stay the same, but it's not really helping me as far as my dieting or my lifestyle. Case in point, if I get on the scale and let's say I get on the scale Sunday and I know I'm going to record and I'm up 3 pounds, I won't eat. So then I'll put myself in a starvation mode. I might get those 3 pounds off before then, but then as soon as I get off and I eat something, everything comes flying back. So it was just a constant cheating. So I figured there's no sense in getting on the scale every day right now. Just work on working the plan. If I work on the plan, the scale will do what it's supposed to do. But I had to do that because I was cheating. I wouldn't drink water. I wouldn't eat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was doing all that stuff to cheat, to make sure that I just stayed the same. Like that was sometimes staying the same was a huge win for me because on Monday I was up 4 or 5 pounds. So I stopped doing that and just said, listen, work the plan. Stop getting on the scale. Stop making that number the be all of everything.
I'm sure you know the reference, the trust the process.
Trust the process. Yeah, that's
trust the process.
The 76ers, the Philadelphia 76ers. Yes.
That phrase has been stuck in my head for a few weeks now. And I said it out loud to my husband and he starts laughing and he's like, do you know what that's from? And I'm like, no, I just find it really motivating. And then he starts laughing and tells me the story of the 76ers.
Yeah, they tanked for years and got all these, and they're okay. I mean,
tell the story because I think it's really interesting at least.
So the 76ers decided that the only way to get better was to just blow out all the teams and just lose. So for like 3 or 4 seasons, they were the worst team in the league. They would lose like the worst, the record for wins in a season were like 9. And like within 3 weeks before the season ended, they would have 7 wins. So they were going to break the record. I'm like, hey, they're going to break the record. There's only going to be 7 wins. But they wouldn't. They would go out and win like 4 games. So they would be just above it. But they would be in a lottery to get the first pick.
Yes. And that's why was they sucked for 3 years just to be able to get those picks. And the GM just kept saying, trust the process.
Trust the process. Trust the process. But he was so enamored with the process that he never would get better. He had all these picks, like he was hoarding picks. So finally, the NBA says, enough of this. Nobody's going to go. You're making this mockery. And you could have the worst record, and you would get into a lottery, and they would pick lottery balls. It didn't mean you were going to get the first pick. You mean you would have more balls than everybody else in a lotto bin. That's how it worked. It was so stupid. So finally, the NBA had to step in and fire that guy and bring in another guy. They said, listen, you guys got to start winning. And I think they're doing, they're doing better now, but that was the whole thing.
See, now they're doing better because the process. And now it's a joke. My husband's just like, yeah, people say trust the process, LOL now.
Yeah. And again, they did get better players on the team and they had prospects, but there was a lot of times that the prospects, they were brand new players in the league and they washed out. They were no good. Tons of them got traded away. So yes, you can trust the process, but you're gambling.
Yeah.
And for the 76ers, not here. Trust the process. Here is trust what you're doing is going to work on yourself, make your plan, work your plan, and everything else will happen. Don't jump on
this week's Johnspiration.
Yeah, because if you jump on the scale and you're like, oh my God, I'm off 3 pounds, and you start cheating, now you're yo-yoing. Your body don't know what's going on. He's like, am I drinking today? Am I eating today? What's going on out there? This guy's killing us. So I would say that trust the process works here.
Yeah.
Not in basketball.
Yeah. Not in basketball, not for the 76ers.
Right.
But yeah, so that phrase has been in my head. And as soon as I said that, my husband he laughed hysterically. We were in bed and he's just laughing hysterically. He's like, you've been telling yourself trust the process for the past few weeks. Do you know what that is?
Let me show you.
I'm like, no, I think I saw it on probably Instagram and like a pretty swirly writing. He's like,
nope. Mm-mm. No. That's exactly. All right. Why don't we get into some Winning Wednesdays? Because we do have a hard stop.
We have 12 this week. 12, John.
One came in while we were talking. That's not really a Winning Wednesday. That's a late Winning Thursday, but we will allow it.
Well, we take it. Yes. We take it. You're in. All right. So, Deborah, I haven't been on the scale for a while, but when I stepped back on, I was 5 pounds less than I thought I'd be. Yay!
Kristen says, I haven't skipped a single day at the gym since Christmas and only didn't go that day because they were closed.
Yay! Valerie, welp, I'm not going to lie, the last 2 weeks have been a blur of tamales, cookies, brownies, and all the Christmas goodies. But as of this morning, she's getting back on track.
Tamales. They don't make good tamales on the East Coast.
No, they don't.
They don't.
They don't.
We have sucky tamales.
Yeah.
Tracy says, starting the new year at minus 20 from her highest weight in 2018. I got to give her that.
Yeah.
Which was also her highest weight ever to continue to decrease. You get 2.
And you get a toot-toot.
There you go. And that was actually Emily. That wasn't John doing.
Me. Well, I've known Tracy since I was 4.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
She gets a toot-toot.
There you go.
We have Sarah, who bought the scale that I was talking about in last week's episode. It's the RENPHO. Again, I'll put a link in the show notes for you guys. And she started DietBet on Sunday. I think a few people from the group are also doing DietBet. So that's exciting. I know, we're cringing. We're just like, okay, you have to be really, really good. January is probably the best month to do it.
I would say so.
If there is a month to do it.
Yes. All right. So hold on.
Doo-doo!
Julianne said, left food on my plate at a restaurant. I was full.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big hurdle when you leave food at a restaurant. Do you do leftovers? If you leave food, do you take it home? I never
love
do.
Leftovers. Sam does not.
No.
I was staring, like we threw food out because like I was like, what about that Chinese food? Is that still good? And she goes, no, it's not good. I'm like, I'd eat that. She's like, I'm throwing it in the trash right now. You're not eating that. Yeah. I love leftovers. Sam, not so much. Which honestly, last night when we were cooking dinner, we were going to make this big pile of food. And I said, if you're not going to eat leftovers, let's cut this in half.
Yeah.
Which was the perfect amount. We both had dinner. It was great. Yeah. So there you go. Learning. Yeah. All right. Who's next? I forget.
Deborah, she walked 15K between New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Wow.
What?
I'm guessing steps.
Did she go to Times Square? What happened there?
Yeah. I'm guessing steps because she says 15K and I'm like, well, she could have walked a 15K.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I was thinking 15K, like a 15K.
Yes. Okay. So I don't know, but either way,
maybe 15K steps. Yeah. Still impressive.
Yeah.
From a guy who does 1,000 and goes, "Ooh, I did 1,000." Jill says, I received some unexpected and stressful news today. Rather than binging, which is my first inclination, I channeled that energy into a run.
Wow.
My winning Wednesdays, I said inclination.
Roxana said, keeping to what she said, she made sure to pack herself breakfast, lunch, and snacks for work. She shared with her coworker that she cooked and packed lunch like she said she would. And she said that her coworker said that was great. And she's rooting for her to keep it up. So I swear I heard the doo-doo. I think that's the emoji for doo-doo. It's little horn with the confetti coming out of it.
That's fantastic. There you go. Okay, I like that.
Hey, we have an emoji.
Brendan said, back at the gym regularly, looking to do 4 to 5 workouts a week, started a new strength training program, looking to replace the fat with muscle.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Jessica, scale victory. She's now lost 3-ish pounds she gained over the holidays. She blames the homemade Chex Mix. I would too. I love homemade Chex Mix. Non-scale victory. She has to buy smaller jeans very soon. She realized that she could pull them down without unzipping or unbuttoning. Yay!
Wow, that is amazing. And Elaine says, I have collarbones.
Oh my God, that's the dream. Do you know, when I was a kid, I would go up to my skinny friends. I was young. I was probably 9 or 10. And I would go up to my skinny friends and ask them about their collarbones because I never had collarbones until I lost a lot of weight in college. And I would ask them, I'm like, listen, I really need to know, does water collect in there when you take a shower in that little divot between the collarbones? And I was like, I need to know this for my own edification. Like, next time you take a shower, can you They thought I was so weird.
But does it? Because I don't know. Do I have collarbones? No, I don't have collarbones. It's ridiculous. I can't remember ever having collarbones. Even when I was thinner, I don't think I had collarbones. Like my wrist is just a bone that goes in my. You know how you have that little wrist bone that sticks out?
Yeah.
Never had it. There's never been there. Yes.
Mine's starting to come back, I think.
Yeah, but even when I was thin, I never had a wrist bone. My arm bone goes into my hand bone. There's no wrist.
There's a line on your arm. We'll get into like some
visual stuff.
There's a line that you might have on your forearm, maybe an inch or two below your elbow. that people don't know why that line exists or why certain people have it and certain people don't. Yeah.
Okay.
There.
I thought there was a story with that.
Some people have there's no real story behind this, but some people heard things like, "Oh, it means you're descended from this ancestor, or you're part of this tribe, this ancient tribe," but nobody can really verify it. Just some fun body things.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you go. They are our winning Wednesdays.
Yay! Thanks everyone. Thanks for sending those in. They're great.
All right, so it's that time.
It's that time.
Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for the moment you have all been waiting for. It's time for the weigh-in.
All right, so now I told you I had a lady friend over, and I'm not doing intermittent fasting and all that stuff.
Well, you are doing intermittent
fasting. I'm done, yeah, but I'm not doing keto. I'm not doing keto, but I am doing intermittent fasting and all that stuff. And I'm down 6 pounds.
Holy moly.
That's what I said when I got on the scale this morning.
Wow.
Now, I think a lot of that has to, and I don't care why. I'm just going to let everybody know. I don't care why.
You don't care why.
I don't care why. Because I think a lot of that is staying with the water pill for like a whole week. That was impressive because there was a lot of, and the walking that comes with the water pill, back and forth to the bathroom, and then just staying in intermittent fasting and not eating at night. So I was down 6 pounds. So I got on the scale this morning. I was like, I got off. I picked it up. I checked. I put it back down on the floor again. I stepped on it again, and it said the same thing. So I'm going with it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's fantastic. I am down 3 pounds this week.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We almost did a double digit.
We almost did. I'm doing the math while you're talking. I'm like, John, I can't even understand what you're saying because I'm trying to do the math right now. It's too many numbers. It's too much.
So where does that bring our total since you were doing podcast?
Our total right now is minus 61 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look at us.
We're on week 36 and we've gone down 61 pounds.
That is basically what they tell you to lose. A little less, but basically like 1.5 to 2 pounds a week.
Yep.
And we're right on track with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though we've had all those ups and downs and you listen to our episodes and it's like one of us has a bad week, one of us has a good week, some of us have blah weeks. And when you actually break it down, 61 divided by 36 and you realize, oh, that's 1 to 2 pounds a week.
Huh.
Okay.
Who knew? Who knew that this was actually going to work?
Trust the process.
Can that be the episode title, please? Can it be Trust the Process?
Trust the process. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, really, we came on when we first started this and we said we were just going to support each other and we were going to continue and we weren't going to worry about what diet we're using and all that stuff. We were all going to trust our process.
Yeah.
And it's working. Believe it or not, it is working. So I love that. And we are 133 members strong at the Facebook group, which is fantastic. And I sent a post out today in the group just thanking everybody for being part of the group, being so supportive, being so funny. Every time I see a weight loss meme that cracks me up, like I actually laugh, I say, where? And then I look and it's in our group. So
I know, because I'm always just like, oh, I should steal this and put it in the group. No, it's already there.
Somebody already did it. Yeah. So, an amazing bunch of people, so supportive. I can't say enough. We have 5 new members, and during this week, I'm going to take and task myself that for the show, the new members we get, I'm going to write a thank you post for them coming and showing up and being part of all this. And how do you do that at home? Well, it's very easy. You just go to hate2weight.com/Facebook, answer one question, that's it, and you're in. And we have a good time in there.
And the question is not how much do you weigh. Don't worry about the question being hard. It's just making sure that you're not selling to us and coming in to be like, oh, a bunch of people who want to lose weight. Hey, I got a shake for that, and I make a lot of money if you sign up. No. We don't want that. No.
Right. Calm down. Because we trust the process.
Oh.
All right. So we're hitting 2019 hard.
Yeah.
And I like it. And I'm motivated, and I want to continue to do this. And like I said, 100 pounds. So next year at this time, hopefully, we will be in triple digits weight loss.
Oh, my goodness.
Could you imagine?
That's incredible.
We will be...
We have 39 pounds to go. 39, not that much when you look at like...
Right.
5 weeks ago, in 5 weeks, we lost 10 pounds.
Yes, and that's actually Wonderland for us, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, kind of.
Right.
Yeah, Wonderland for the show.
And just so you know, Adam says, no, water does not collect in your collarbone little pockets.
Thank you. I needed to know that.
So there you go. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being part of this community. What's our email address? We do have an email address, right?
I believe it's hatetowait@gmail.com. It is. It's hatetowait@gmail.com. You can reach out.
Yeah, send us an email so we can actually see that the email works. That would be great. I mean, very nice. or join the Facebook group, because that's where all the goodness happens.
That's where we are, yeah.
All right, everyone. Have a great week. We'll be back next week.
Bye.